Hello and welcome to Queen Ethelburga's Collegiate, a British day and boarding school for students from all over the world aged from 9 months to 18 years. Situated in the North Yorkshire countryside with state-of-the-art facilities, quality pastoral care and some of the country's top academic results. We recently turned 110 years old, and to celebrate this, what better way than to invite some of our old Ethelburgians to revisit the school and share their journeys to the QE community. I'm delighted today to be joined by Ben Steward from the class of 2015. Ben was previously a head boy, academic scholar and successfully enrolled as a history student at Oxford University. My name is Michael Gates, the old Ethelburgian coordinator, and this is Meets O.Es. Hey Ben, great to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you, pleasure.
Let's go. Ben, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Welcome to our new coffee shop at QE.
Yes, it's nice to see it in person, and I've seen lots of pictures, and I think it's a very good addition. And
I noticed that your jumper's actually quite matched to the chairs.
Yes, it wasn't planned.
You sure?
Yes, I'm not that stylish.
Here's the buggy. Welcome to the buggy.
Thank you. Very exciting. Long time since I've been in one of these.
Tell me where you went to after QE, and tell me more about your journey post QE and the job you're in now as well.
Mm-hmm.
Nice monster.
Every school must have one. So I went to Oxford University to study history, and I went to Lincoln College, which is the best Oxford college, obviously. I'm very fortunate to have done that because it suited me very, very well, and it also gave me something that I could be excited about after QE, because QE had been the experience of a lifetime. It really, really had, and I think I will always think that. But I was lucky that QE had helped me then to get another experience of a lifetime. I went there and I suppose got stuck in as much as I had at QE, did all sorts of different things, lots of sport, always lots of sport.
Table tennis?
Yes, okay. And cricket, the main love.
See the sports all back this way. How does it feel being back?
It's always exciting. It's always a pleasure, whether it's been a couple of years since I've been or a couple of weeks. And I do find that coming back to QE, there's an extra spring in my step, and the fond remembrances are nice to just come back into the mind as the day goes on. Always keen to be back and do what I can now to help the ones who are here now, if I can at all.
Well, absolutely. And then I think you have got even intentions today.
Yes,
to help in some way. So I'm looking forward to seeing that later in the day.
So not like someone I used to know was also a rugby player, but maybe.
How are you? Welcome back.
Thank you.
How's it all going?
Very well.
I love the fact you've got your eagle up.
Thank you. I always
It's
try.
very exciting.
Yes.
What's that about?
So whenever sixth formers leave QE, they're presented with an eagle at speech day, and that's a sort of token of the continuing bond as an alumnus with the school, and so I'm always keen to wear mine when I come back, and I keep hold of it in the meantime.
Keep it in pride of place.
Absolutely, yeah.
There's zen here, there's classical music, there's chocolate, there's warm.
It's
Try. Do you think we should come back? And so, talk me more a bit about your being head boy and kind of the impact that's had on you. You know, now obviously looking back at your time at QE, you know, as a former student, you know, being head boy, being an academic scholar, you know, that leaving party and obviously going off to university. And tell me about that as well. You know, how do you think QE set you up for the big bad world, the big wide world? Maybe not bad, big wide world. Grab a drink. What would want this bloke doing? Grab a drink for the officer.
I think QE set me up with a lot of confidence and also resilience then, partly through that confidence, but beyond it too. So Tate being head boy, that was really my first experience of leadership, and it was a tough one because we had a very large team of prefects, there were about 30 of us. It was as QE is, very international. I think off the top of my head there were about 11 different nationalities in the team. I did know that number at one point. But all sorts of personalities too, people doing different subjects, and some in the college and some in the faculty as well. And so that was a real mixed bunch, with a real mixed bunch of jobs to do as well. And so having to organise that team and lead that team and keep them motivated and make sure they're enjoying the experience, that was one for me to work out really, to do all of my duties in that too. And I said I probably made some mistakes in doing that too, as well as successes, and I think I'm still reflecting on those today, and I see that as the significant moment in the start of working out who I want to be as a leader, which is something I talk about a lot at the moment in my career.
So would you say that when you think about QE, you really have fond memories of the boarding, or of the academic, or equally, or is there a bit of is there one that you favoured more than the other? For
me, having boarded, I couldn't imagine having done it without boarding, and I think all of the things that happened throughout that 24/7 period, as well as just during the academic day and perhaps after school, those things were a huge part of my time at QE. So I remember big things and little things. So there are the memories of things which are, say, the school birthday, Christmas carols, speech day, black tie, all of the things which sort of mark our progress through the academic year, as well as all of the the exams and the deadlines and so forth. But a lot of the little things that I remember are things that were boarding related. So pizzas on Friday evenings from a local pizza company that I assume is probably closed by now, but it used to be excellent value for money, and that would feed me for the weekends. They were such big pizzas, it was a sixth form privilege to be able to order the food from outside. So we made the most of that. And other things too, table tennis in the house common room. One of my house parents was an excellent player, not good enough to beat me, but an excellent player. And then similarly, pool evenings playing FIFA with people, and actually late night chats with roommates and friends too. Best part of the school.
So QE prepared you, it seems, very, very well academically for Oxford, and beyond that, masters as well. Socially, that you were able to live away from home. I'm interested how, if you think so, QE prepared you professionally. So, you've done your education at Oxford. Tell me what happened beyond that, and tell me, obviously, talk about your leadership opportunities as head boy. That seems to have been a key confidence boost, perhaps, in the workplace. Do you think your time at QE helped in the workplace as well? Or tell me more about your workplace, actually. What do you do now?
Yes, so I'm a civil servant, employed directly by the Cabinet Office, but I rotate around different government departments to get a range of experience, and I'm specialising in project delivery, so project management for most people, but there's a range of roles within that. And that wasn't my first job after Oxford. It followed a few months later. I initially wasn't particularly well prepared for leaving, I don't think. I didn't really want leaving to happen, and so whereas I'd left QE with that thing of, there's something else really exciting to go into now, I probably didn't leave Oxford in the same vein and wasn't sure about what I wanted to do. So I got a job as a consultant for a software company. I wasn't particularly well suited to it. I realised that quite quickly, and it did help me to realise more about what I did want to do and actually following my interests a little bit more. So from that point, the civil service was a natural option, something with a real public purpose and an impact at real scale as well, because there are a lot of jobs which, teaching for one, of course, you can go and have a very immediate impact on quite a lot of people, but within that sort of frontline type setting, whereas I prefer, I think, being a step back from that and looking at a slightly more strategic view, trying to set things up at a larger scale to enable those on the front line and others too.
I'm Ben, I'm an old Ethelburgian, as you can tell from my little eagle, and I was here for sixth form from 2013 to 2015. QE really is a special place, and I hope that you appreciate that while you're here, not just after you've left. And QE actually prepares you really well for that, I think, for university life, because there's so much around you, you're in a tight-knit community, you all want to make the most of your time, both academically and socially and in your spare time.
I think I recognise you.
Do you?
I'm not even joking, I actually think I recognise you.
Yeah, that's partly about doing the thing that you're interested in a job. Left QE 8 years ago. I'm old, increasingly. Which of the content excites you most? Because there will be sources in other things.
Fancy a spot of cricket?
Always.
Let's go. So it seems like you're pretty set, really. You know, you've got wonderful qualifications. You know, you've got good social manner, present clearly. You're in a really good workplace. It seems in a job that you've experimented and rotated across different departments, and you seem pretty settled. So has QE still got a role for you? As QE, is there any way you can still be in the life of QE as an alumnus? Someone who's graduated 7 or 8 years earlier. You're back here obviously today. Can QE support you? Can you support QE? Is there anything reciprocal about QE now? Would you say?
I mentioned earlier I've been back quite a few times since leaving, and I hope that continues. It was always a real attraction. I knew even when I was at QE that you were part of the QE family for life, not just the time that you were here, whether it was a couple of years like me or 16 years like one of my good friends here who was a bit of a lifer at that point. And I hope that every time I come back I have an opportunity to bring a bit of a perspective to the school and to some of the students, to offer them some information and some of my experiences for them to take and use as they will. For some of them, some bits might strike a chord. For others, it might be different parts, and others might just think I'm boring, and that's fair enough if they want to think that. For me, I just think coming back is a great pleasure, and I enjoy it every time, and it helps too to keep those friendships going and those bonds going, which are I value immensely. And whilst we can manage that without QE, it helps to have QE providing us with a focal point and opportunities to come back, events to attend, things like that. It does make a difference.
The slogan for QE, can you remember? Be the best you can with the gifts that you have.
Yes.
And it feels like I'm sensing that you're encouraging your gifting that you had.
Well, I don't know if you're putting the audio on this, but if anyone else is watching who is thinking about coming back, then absolutely do. Get in touch with Mike, come back. You will not regret it, and all the old QE magic is still here.
Magic's intact, absolutely. Come visit. Great to see you, Ben.
Been a pleasure.
It's been
Always
great
is.
seeing you. It's been great seeing you, and can't wait to see you again. Always welcome back to QE.
Thank you, Mike. It's good to know. Then
See you
I'll
soon.
see you soon.
Bye.